its integration into extension messages for cocoa intensification, deepen understanding of the cocoa tree's nutritional requirements while addressing the problem of expansion of cocoa farmlands into forested areas.
Let me assure you that we are going to make the best use of this manual. Research and development are very key to every progress. And we want to assure you that once research are done, we let our extension division pass the information on to our farmers and go down there to explain everything in this particular document to our farmers.
Malaria continues to be one of the top 10 outpatient department OPD diseases and a public health concern. Though the National Malaria Control Program has put several interventions in place, the disease burdens can continue to be high in some regions and districts of the country. The following report takes a look at the impact and role of the Kintampo Health Research Center, one of the malaria research development units of the Ghana Health Service.
The Kintampo Health Research Center, KHRC, was established in 1994 as a center of excellence in research to influence high-level research both in the local community and the sub-region. It has over the years conducted research into diseases such as meningitis, malaria and other tropical diseases, non-communicable diseases and environmental safety, among others, that have informed decision-making in the Ghana Health Service. Known for its training programs and well-resourced laboratory, the Kintampo Health Research Center also played a vital role in the Phase 2 and 3 clinical trials of the RTSS malaria vaccine, which is currently being piloted and implemented in some selected regions of Ghana. Over the years, KHRC has trained over 1,000 laboratory scientists for both the private and public health institutions in Ghana and beyond on standardized malaria diagnostic methods in private and public clinics and laboratories. KHRC has about 20 microscopists who are able to read malaria slide samples and outcomes to influence decision-making, standardization and quality control for study projects, prevention and control of malaria in the country.
We started this malaria work. It was basically one tick film that we put on the slide. Now we see we have a tick film and then a tin film on the same slide. The tick film is used for diagnosing the parasite. It concentrates the blood and makes it easier for you to be able to see if there's a parasite. But when the parasites are maybe more, you may need to use a tin section or even to identify the species clearly. You need this part. So as time went on, we tried to, during our training, to train the lab scientists to prepare different things. And now I think if you go to almost every facility, they prepare different things on the same slide.
The director of the Kintampo Health Research Center, Dr. Kwekupoku Asante, said though there are a number of proven malaria interventions, there is still more to do to eliminate malaria in the country completely.
Now everybody thinks that malaria is almost gone, but it's not. It's still there. So we just have to work hard at nailing it down. Our work in Accra shows that there are some places that malaria is less than 1%. But in other places it's as high as 10%. And so we also need to drill down to put in most of our effort in places where the burden of malaria is high, even in small areas, rather than at the regional level.
Dr. Poku Asante called for more investment in clinical trials in the country.
In the past, we had always received vaccines or medications that had been tested elsewhere and then registered by our regulatory authorities and then put on the market. But it's time for us as Africans, as Ghanaians, to be involved in clinical research to find solutions to our own health challenges. The other bit is to build infrastructural capacity for clinical research across the country, and that means that building high-level phase 1 clinical trials, phase 2 clinical trial centers to be able to develop these drugs as they come along.
The Kintampo Health Research Center, KHRC, is one of the 3 health research centers under the Ghana Health Services Research Division, which is located in the Bono East region. For GBC News, Mavis Ofei-Champo reporting.
At a town hall meeting at Askwa in the Ashanti region, the agenda was to increase citizens' acceptance for the use of alternative dispute resolution (ADR) mechanisms in resolving conflicts and the electronic integrated criminal justice case tracking system. The meeting was also to rally support for the speedy passage into law of the Community Service Bill. The bill provides for the use of non-traditional sentencing approaches in convicting people for minor offences such as misdemeanor.
The meeting was organized by the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, a charity organization as part of its justice sector support activity, which is being implemented in 40 selected districts in 7 regions of the country. The program is partly funded by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. Ghana's criminal justice system is confronted with challenges that inhibit effective and equitable delivery of justice. Key among the challenges is lack of effective communication and collaboration among the key justice institutions. This has led to the introduction of the Ghana Case Tracking, which was launched in 2018 to improve justice delivery. The case tracking system is an integrated criminal case tracking technological tool designed to digitize the manual processes and life cycle information of criminal justice agencies. The program manager of the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, Madame Esther Ahulu, said the system would need government's backing for a successful takeoff.
If you go to Asokwa Judicial Service, the courts right now, they have the equipment, but they are not using. One thing that I also want to put across is that when we have some of this engagement, some of the things that participants are telling us is that these institutions that we are talking about, especially the Ghana Police Service, is a command chain. So if the IGP give a command that you have to use it, people will use it.
There are also plans to train stakeholders involved in the justice delivery system on how to use the tracking system.
Plans are also in way to also ensure that we also pass through the training through the police training school. So that every police officer will at least have a fair understanding or idea about the system. Therefore, when you pass out and you go to your station, it will not become like a new thing, like something that you've not seen before, and then you're asking why this, why that.
Legal Resources Center, Crime Check Foundation, and Interregional Bridge Groups are the implementing partners of the USAID Justice System Sector Support Activity. The Asokwa Town Hall meeting included leadership of traders associations, dressmakers and hairdressers associations, youth and religious groups, persons living with disability, and representatives of justice institutions.
From the Bono East region, correspondent Samuel Ayama reports that 293 aspirants are contesting for positions in NPP's ongoing constituency executive elections. The exercise is currently ongoing in 7 out of the 11 constituencies in the region. We are crossing over to Samuel Ayama, who is on the phone. Hello, good afternoon, Samuel.
Good afternoon, Michelle.
Where are you currently located and what's happening there now?
I'm currently at the Nkranza South, that is Nkranza Township, where the election is currently ongoing.
What can you tell us?
Yeah, currently the elections so far, the information that I've gathered in the 7 constituencies where the elections is currently underway, and then again where I find myself now. I can say it has been smooth so far, so good.
What's the atmosphere like, the demeanor, and the process? Yeah,
the process, the demeanor, everything, I must say, is okay, it's calm. We've not experienced any agitations and some complaints from any of the aspirants. They are all following the process, and the delegates are all around all the constituencies where the elections is currently ongoing. And the security situation is quite very, very good here. Some constituencies have been identified as hotspots, that is Tebuba, Mantin, and then the police. With the regional executives of the NPP in collaboration with the Bono East Regional Police Command, they have been able to make sure they put innovative measures in place in terms of security to ensure we have a smooth elections in all the 7 constituencies is currently ongoing. But the remaining 4, some will be taking place tomorrow, and then the rest one will be taking place on the 30th, and then on the 1st, the last one, that is the Techiman South, that is the Techiman municipality there, will also take place for them to just finish the exercise in this region. So
why not concurrently? Why are they doing this?
Yeah, according to the regional executive, that is the regional chairman, Mr. Chu Apia, it's just all about security reasons, and some measures they are putting in place to have a smooth exercise, because the districts are far from each other. Some of them are very far, so they want to have an eye or monitor all the elections. As we speak, he himself is monitoring the other side, the regional secretary, the regional treasurer, and some national executives are also around to help supervise the elections. So it is not for anything, but for what they are doing is just to ensure they have a smooth exercise at the end of the day.
Thank you very much, Samuel Ayama. Samuel Ayama is Bono East regional correspondent. He is reporting from the 7 constituencies currently casting their votes to elect NPP's new executives. In other stories, a 400-kilowatt hybrid waste-to-energy power plant to treat solid waste in Ghana has been inaugurated at Jacoba near Career in the Chimwa in Wabieja municipality of the Ashanti region, funded by the German government through the Federal Ministry of Education and Research. The project cost €6.2 million and took 48 months to complete. This is News Hour. We'll be back shortly after this break. Please do stay.
The overall objective of the project is to develop concepts for waste segregation and the conversion of various fractions of municipal solid waste into energy using hybrid biogas, pyrolysis, and solar PV technologies. The project is to be replicated in other regions of the country. It is expected to help Ghana improve her sanitation by converting the ever-increasing municipal solid waste into energy for productive uses and contribute to sustainable development. Under the project, high-level local experts will be trained in waste management and waste treatment technologies. Currently, the plant uses 50 tons of waste a day to manufacture fertilizers, compost, energy, and plastic products. Another significant factor is its contribution to the country's renewable energy and electricity production mix. The Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Kwekwe Friye, commended the Asantehene and the Chief of Jankoba for releasing land for the project.
I'm delighted to see the deployment of these technologies, that is biogas, pyrolysis, in dealing with both organic and plastic waste management, in addition to the harnessing of the sun for energy generation in the country, which tackles 9 of the SDGs. Government has and will continue to engage stakeholders to come up with innovative and sustainable projects, just as what we are witnessing today.
The project coordinator, Professor Satyanatayana Nara, was happy that although the COVID-19 pandemic slowed down the pace of work, they were able to meet the deadline. Research institutions will also use the project to study waste management and power generation techniques.
All those involved have driven the project forward with unprecedented commitment. Everyone involved showed great flexibility. For example, a plant for refuse-derived fuel with plastic recycling is now being used instead of plastic pyrolysis. Thus, the scientific question of how plastic waste can be recycled sustainably in Ghana.
The Trimanwa Bieja Municipal Chief Executive, Mr. Michael Ewuku, disclosed that some compensation package has been released to the farmers whose lands were used for the project. He said an additional 21-acre land has been released under the 1D1F policy for ginger production in the area.
At 5 p.m. today, the President Nana Akufo-Addo will address the nation on the 30th anniversary of the referendum approving the 1992 Constitution. Many may not know, but the final draft Constitution was unanimously approved by the people in a referendum on the 28th of April 1992, 30 years ago today. This Constitution, also known as the Constitution of the Fourth Republic, was promulgated in January 1993. Here's a recap of happenings that led Ghanaians to the polls in a referendum on a new constitution that will pave the way for multi-party democracy after decades of military rule.
It was on Tuesday, April 28, 1992, when the journey to constitutional rule began. The main issues were the reintroduction of multi-party politics and the division of powers between president and parliament. Ghana, a former British colony, which in 1957 became the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence, had experienced 3 previous attempts at civilian government overthrown by the military. The ruling council had governed since December 31, 1981, when the elected administration of then-President Dr. Hilary Liman was overthrown. Both the ruling Provisional National Defense Council, headed by Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings, and most of the opposition actively campaigned for a yes vote. A yes vote would set the stage for the lifting of a decade-old ban on political parties on May 18, the planned start of campaigning for November presidential elections and December parliamentary polls. There were 8,255,690 registered voters for the referendum. At the end of polls, 3,408,119 people, representing 92.59%, voted for, whilst 272,855, representing 7.41%, voted against. Therefore, on 18th May 1992, the ban on party politics was lifted in preparation for multi-party elections. The PNDC and its supporters formed a new party, the National Democratic Congress (NDC), to contest the elections. Presidential elections were held on November 3 and parliamentary elections on December 29 of that year. Members of the opposition boycotted the parliamentary elections, however, which resulted in a 200-seat parliament with only 17 opposition party members and 2 independents. The new constitution entered into force on 7th January 1993 to found the Fourth Republic. On that day, Flight Lieutenant Rawlings was inaugurated as president and members of parliament swore their oath of office.
You're watching News Hour live on GBC News, your news and governance channel. We'll be back shortly after this break. Please do stay.
Perseverance, logic, decisiveness, and self-confidence. Being strong is not just about physical abilities, but also emotional, intellectual, and mental strength. Women's Voice is a platform to hear and share stories to encourage women and girls. Women are the real architect of society. It is they who provide the foundation of power, grace, wisdom, justice, creativity, and hope. Join us live every Monday at 4 p.m. on GBC News and GTV, Wednesdays live at 4 p.m. on GBC News and a repeat on Saturdays at 4 p.m. on GBC News and Sundays at 3 p.m. also on GBC News. Women's Voice. No one can make you inferior without your consent.
Every Wednesday at 9:05 a.m. live on GBC News, Unique 95.7 and all GBC regional stations, and on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and a repeat on the same day at 11 p.m. on GTV. Focus, putting the issues in perspective.
Get ready! Ready for super duper experience. Quality entertainment. Real issues. Real opinions from fashion, tourism, arts, music, movies, and many more. It's time for something unfiltered. Spectacle, a new television entertainment show ready to correct refractive errors in the creative arts industry. Spectacle, real entertainment, real people. Spectacle, Yabba, Nayaba. Spectacle.
It's all about entertainment.
You're welcome back. Thanks for staying on. The Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has presented 30,000 Ghana cedis towards the final funeral rites of the late Paramount Chief of the Denchra Traditional Area, Odefo Buamponsem. Dr. Bawumia made the donation when he paid a courtesy call on the Denchra Hema to commiserate with the people of Denchra on the passing of the late chief in 2015. The late Odefo Buamponsem ascended the throne at the age of 33, and his reign saw massive development in Denchra Traditional Area. He reigned for 61 years and died at the age of 94. Maurice Ogbete is standing by with the business segment. Please do stay.
There are strong women whose stories teach us perseverance, logic, decisiveness, and self-confidence. Being strong is not just about physical abilities, but also emotional, intellectual, and mental strength. Women's Voice is a platform to hear and share stories to encourage women and girls. Women are the real architect of society. It is they who provide the foundation of power, grace, wisdom, justice, creativity, and hope. Join us live every Monday at 4 p.m. on GBC News and GTV, Wednesdays live at 4 p.m. on GBC News and a repeat on Saturdays at 4 p.m. on GBC News and Sundays at 3 p.m. also on GBC News. Women's Voice. No one can make you inferior without your consent.
Focus. Every Wednesday at 9:05 a.m. live on GBC News, Unique 95.7, and all GBC regional stations, and on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and a repeat on the same day at 11 p.m. on GTV. Focus, putting the issues in perspective.
Get ready. Ready for super duper experience.
Quality entertainment.
Real issues, real opinions from fashion, tourism, arts, music, movies, and many more. It's time for something unfiltered. Spectacle, a new television entertainment show ready to correct refractive errors in the creative arts industry. Spectacle, real entertainment, real people. Spectacle, Yabba, Nayaba. Spectacle.
It's all about entertainment.
Good afternoon. We bring you business updates now. My name is Morris Ogbete. Now, the cedi is projected by Fitch Solutions to recover some of the grounds it lost to the dollar in the next couple of months. The months of February and March this year saw the cedi depreciating by almost 15.6%. But after the announcement by the Finance Ministry that it will inject about $2 billion into the economy, the pace at which the local currency was losing its value to its trading partners, especially the greenback, stabilized. Also, the Bank of Ghana announced a raft of measures, which includes increasing cash reserve of commercial banks to 12%. Capital conservation buffer was reset to the pre-pandemic level of 3%, making the capital adequacy ratio of total of 13%. The cedi began the year 2022 at 6 cedis 25 pesos to the dollar, but now trading at 7 cedis 44 pesos. The local currency came under severe pressure in the first 3 months of 2022, making it the worst performing currency on the African continent during that particular period. And moving away from that story, Ghana's biggest bank by assets, GCB Bank, grew its profits 27% from 439.5 million cedis in 2020 to 556.7 million Ghana cedis in 2021. Total asset grew 19% from 15.3 million to 18.2 million during the year under review. The growth, however, came along with an increase in non-performing loans from 8.9% to 15.9%. A look at the financials show a bank that weathered the shocks of a post-COVID economy. All key performance indicators saw an upward trajectory despite a spike in non-performing loans by the first quarter of 2022. The bank's loan portfolio went up from 4.3 million Ghana cedis to 5.2 million Ghana cedis in 2021. Customer deposits rose from 11 million Ghana cedis to over 13 million Ghana cedis. GCB Bank's ability to handle losses, as depicted by its capital adequacy ratio of 20.9%, is strong and well above the banking industry's average of 19.6% as at the first quarter of 2022, and also well above the current revised regulatory minimum of 13%.
When you check on the profit before tax, we achieved that significantly because as we ramp up the revenue, yes, costs did go up, but we did everything to make sure cost growth was far lower than revenue growth. Already the revenue base is bigger and larger than the cost base.
On the downside, the bank suffered a rise in non-performing loans fueled by COVID-19 and the country's weak exchange rate position.
Our trade business is impacted. How is it impacted? I'm talking of foreign trade. Somebody is operating with, for argument's sake, capital of 1 million cedis. By December, if we translated that 1 million cedis, maybe $150,000. By the time the imports come and he's selling, and you must change that money back into dollars, it's no longer $150,000, maybe 120, 110. What that does for a bank is that your customer is stretched. And so the potential for him to default on your repayment also goes up.
Managers of the company, however, assures shareholders the situation is under control. On the outlook, GCB Bank says its ambition to dominate the banking space remains on course. In the days ahead, the bank will strengthen internal controls, update the banking operation system from 12.2 to 14.3. The bank will also automize its systems for optimal efficiency. And also in business, the Accra East area of the Ghana Revenue Authority has launched this year's 2022 Tax and Good Governance Month for clients within Tema and Ashaiman. The drive is to educate taxpayers on their obligations and encourage them to use the GRA's digital platform to file their tax returns.
The month of April has been dedicated as the month of tax and good governance by the Ghana Revenue Authority. The GRA this month introduced the GRA Taxpayers Portal to enable taxpayers file tax returns online to ensure easy, convenient and efficient filing process for client satisfaction. Also, the move is to promote tax compliance and enable the GRA to achieve its 2022 revenue targets of 80.3 billion cedis. An Assistant Commissioner at the Tema Taxpayers Center, Mr. Martin Opokwa Bankwa, explained the online processes for filing tax returns.
Statistics indicate that about 20% of income earners are voluntarily honoring their tax obligations. I believe the GRA is working assiduously in this direction. Mention can be made of initiatives such as filing of tax returns online, cashless policy, and integrated customs management systems, ICAMS. The GRA this year is mandated to collect a total revenue target of 80.3 billion Ghana cedis.
The Accra East Area Director of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Assistant Commissioner Mrs. Eugenia Marfo, urged Ghanaians to honor their tax obligations because without it, the country can hardly develop.
Tax returns are to be filed online via the GRA Taxpayer Portal, a secure tax management tool which enables taxpayers to file returns, initiate payments, apply for refund, etc., with ease from the comfort of their homes and offices. The GRA has set up tax clinics at vantage points within Tema and Ashama municipality to create awareness and sensitize the populace on the need to file returns and comply voluntarily with all other tax obligations.
The Member of Parliament for Tema Central, Mr. Yves Ninoy Hansen Norte, commended the GRA for digitalizing their operational processes and called on Ghanaians to be tax compliant. The GRA appealed to the public to contact its offices and sensitization clinics across the country for guidance in filing their tax returns online and other tax-related concerns.
And so on the interbank forex market, we see the cedi stabilizing, especially against the US dollar. On the commodities market as well, we see the price of crude oil trending down, and that should reflect in the price of petrol at the pump. Let's get latest figures from the interbank market and the commodities market as well. The international news is after this break. Stay with us.